I don't know how I feel about Blowing in the Wind. I don't dislike this episode, but when I reflect on it, there wasn't very much about it that I loved either. It's interesting enough, but never one that I will kind of choose to watch if I'm trying to watch an episode of The Simpsons. It's the 6th episode of the 10th season, directed by Mark Kirkland and Matthew Nastuk. And Homer learns about his background a little bit. He learns about where he was born and visits this hippie farm, as it were, and decides to become a hippie and live his life the way he feels like he might have done if he had been raised there. And there are a couple of hippies there, and they seem to be getting along relatively well, and they have a juicing business, which is interesting enough. And Homer tries to get involved in this, but things don't necessarily go to plan, and things go quite wrong for the wrong people. I won't say any more than that. I don't feel like the narrative's overly interesting, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's a bad episode. I don't feel like there's anything specific that I would have done differently or anything that I could pinpoint as saying, maybe the pacing there could have been better or that character could have been more interesting. It is very much one of those episodes that I didn't mind watching, but I will never gravitate towards it. Obviously, it's well animated, well voice acted, absolutely no problems whatsoever. It's also worth mentioning that the character of Seth is voiced by Martin Mull, who I love, played Mr. Kraft in Sabrina, and George Carlin voices Munchie. So, all things considered, it's a decent enough episode. There's nothing about it that I think didn't work. I don't think it's bad at all. Just in terms of my personal preference and things that I look for, it's never going to be a personal favourite. Not a bad episode, but for me personally, never a favourite.